the governance, and this session we're going to go forward for the people-to-people relations. And I would like to invite the chair, the assistant professor, Professor Charit Ting Sapat, Chulalongkorn University to be the chair. If not, we're going to proceed the session right after the chairs and the panelists ready. Okay, the chairs and the panelists, if you're ready, let me know.
Hello.
Okay, the floor is yours. And we have time until 5:30, but it's already late from the beginning, so you can be a little late, but not too long because we have the program after this as well.
Well, by my reckoning, I was expecting to start at 5, but I think we have 5 extra minutes, so maybe we can be a bit more relaxed. But anyway, I think we all agree that we won't stand between you, dear guests, and dinner. So we'll finish, and our organizer will keep us honest by stopping us at 5:30 exactly. Okay? So I just want to make 3 points about the subject of this session, which is people-to-people contact. And if for what it's worth, and I hope perhaps the panelists will have time to comment on them. First is that when talking about people-to-people contact, it's always very difficult in daily life anyway, between people, among ourselves. And when it comes to societies, even more difficult. You have differences in political parties, beliefs, etc., etc. And when it comes to even larger scale, like a regional group, like for example the EU, this has been a major issue in the European Union itself, and as we can see in the case of Brexit. So it's not an easy subject to deal with. And when it comes to an inter-regional grouping, which is BIMSTEC, it must be even more difficult to think about and to do something about. So I hope that the panelists will give some thoughts to these vexing problems. And I can think of different forms of people-to-people contact, just to mention a few. Student movements, because we are at a university. Labor migration, because this is something that people do in any case, whether legally or illegally. And we have tourism, which is perhaps the bright side of people-to-people contact. And we have also refugee movements, which is perhaps very unfortunate, but it happens anywhere. So these are different forms of people-to-people contact that we want to say something good coming out of them, but it's not always easy. So I will pass on the floor to our special address. Okay. So Ambassador will finish last. So I will give you at 5:25. Okay, and let's start with the panelists. So I call on Mr. Shirang Dorji. Okay, wonderful South Asian name. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, His Excellency Ambassador Sumit, co-panelists, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, good afternoon. And let me briefly take the opportunity to thank Sanim, ASEAN Studies Center, and Asia Foundation and other co-organizers for organizing this important third economic dialogue themed the New World Order and BIMSTEC. It is a true reflection of your commitments towards deepening regional cooperation under BIMSTEC through such dialogue. We highly appreciate your efforts, and I'm privileged to be part of this important discussion. Let me briefly touch on what BIMSTEC is in the context of 2 days of discussion. As you know, that BIMSTEC is an intergovernmental regional organization consisting of 7 countries bordering or in close proximity to the Bay of Bengal. It serves as a vital link between 2 important regions of Asia, Southeast Asia comprising Myanmar and Thailand, and South Asia comprising Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Nepal, and Sri Lanka. So, and despite being relatively small in terms of membership, BIMSTEC member states constitute a significant population of 1.8 billion people. Moreover, in terms of, if you look at the economic landscape, its total GDP is US dollar in terms of like US dollar 4.5 trillion, which is almost 4.5% of global GDP. So despite its challenges and some of the issues, BIMSTEC in fact offer enormous potential for growth and development of the Bay of Bengal region. And as you may be aware that BIMSTEC has been in existence for little over 27 years, forging technical and economic and technical cooperation among the member states. Now, like from this year, we have like now BIMSTEC charter, we have our own charter entered into force from 28 May, granting BIMSTEC a legal personality to take the regional cooperation forward. Moreover, BIMSTEC now has well-established core and sectoral mechanism to take the cooperation forward. Currently, there are 7 areas of cooperation with each member leading a sector, and people-to-people contact is one of the 7 areas of cooperation led by Nepal. The importance of people-to-people relation was underscored in early 2000. It was in 2004 during the first BIMSTEC summit, which was held here in Bangkok. Then subsequently, it became an area of cooperation in 2005. So currently, there are 4 subsectors under people-to-people contact. First one is tourism. Second one, cultural cooperation. Third one is poverty alleviation, and the fourth and the last one is people contact forum. So, in view of time constraint, I'm not going to go into the details. Rather, like in terms of what are the challenges faced by this people-to-people contact sector under BIMSTEC framework. So I would like to point out some of the challenges against the backdrop of what has happened so far in the BIMSTEC. So if you look at in terms of governance structure or mechanism, like all subsectors, 4 subsectors have required institutional mechanism, starting from the expert group level till the ministerial level. So expert group is the lowest. Then we have senior official levels consisting of government secretaries, if it is for tourism, tourism secretaries, if it is for culture, culture secretaries, and then even at the ministerial level. But as I pointed out in one of the sessions earlier, the issue is infrequent meeting of those sectoral mechanisms, because it is very important that these mechanisms like have their meeting regularly and timely, because all decisions are taken at those mechanisms. And then like we can implement initiatives, whatever decisions, only after these mechanisms take decisions. So it is very important that they meet timely and regularly. Then very important initiative taken under culture subsector is to set up BIMSTEC Industries Commission and BIMSTEC Culture Industries Observatory in Bhutan. Decision was taken long time ago. It was in 2006. And the memorandum to establish the observatory was decided in 2014. But yet to materialize this, not yet. Discussion has been going on for so long. So why I'm saying this is, in the context of BIMSTEC, at least 1 or 2 impactful and tangible projects or initiatives should be on the ground. Otherwise, forget about our charter opening for new observers or new membership. Even the existing members will lose their interest. And then like for observers and to have momentum for the member states, these projects are very important. Then if you look at the plans of action, all those subsectors have plans of actions, activities identified for country level, for regional level. But the issue is, where is the funding? There is no committed funding. So that is why like simultaneously like discussions now have been like already started on creation of BIMSTEC Development Fund, which is very, very important. So we need committed funding to fund all those plans already decided. And this I could see as the main way forward. And then in my concluding remarks, I would like to mention that people-to-people contact is very important sector of cooperation under BIMSTEC, because people-to-people contact will transcend beyond political boundaries and then enhance cultural exchanges, people-to-people interactions, and then like will promote a sense of regional identity among the people. So the people-to-people sector will not only promote relations and interactions among the people, but this will also contribute to a greater collaboration among other sectors of cooperation like trade, development, investment, as well as science, technology, and innovation sector under BIMSTEC framework. Further, people-to-people relation has a potential to strengthen the foundation of BIMSTEC cooperation. So I would like to end here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dorji, very much to the point that nothing moves without funding. Thank you. Can I call upon Dr. Abdullah Al-Mamun? Thank you.
First of all, I would like to seek deep apologies to my father, who advised that never speak in a seminar in the post-lunch session, but disregarding him twice, because I'm speaking in the post-lunch session as well as in the last session, and we're talking about people-to-people contact, but very few people left here to be contacted. With this note, let me be rest assured that we have had hard discussion, Professor Mustafiz, Professor Salim Raihan, and all the distinguished eminent scholars from the region who talk about the scarcity of resources in implementing the policies, removing trade barriers, and etc. I'm very fortunate to have in my right side the Director of Environment and Climate Change, BIMSTEC Secretariat. I can guarantee you the proposal I'll be putting forward, it would not need any money, rather a strategic or some adjustment to your policies. So be rest assured to that as well. I'm fortunate again having the ex-chair of the BIMSTEC Secretariat, and who was talking last 2 days that how could we implement things together if we do not have the consensus. But when it comes to the people-to-people contact, I think you don't really need much consensus, but it can produce great results. Let me unveil something from the Japanese experience as I'm a student of Japanese studies. So sit back, relax, but don't sleep. Listen to me for the next 5 to 6 minutes. First of all, I would like to underline 3 major undertakings of Japan as I'm a student of Japanese studies, and there should not be any debate whatsoever in terms of the success of people-to-people contract when it reveals from Japanese experience. So if we draw example, if you look at the Japanese experience of people-to-people contract using education as a vehicle of people-to-people contract in materializing many goals, you will see there are 3 pillars, 3 elements they have historically addressed. First one is that they use education as a tools of soft power diplomacy to effectively mitigate post-war antagonism as well as the anti-Japanese sentiment, particularly in ASEAN. Thailand is one of the examples. If any senior Thai citizen sitting here can support me in 1980s or late 90s when Japan started FDI in Thailand, there are movements. And but by virtue of people-to-people contract, that eventually been addressed. And I know that Thailand is one of the beloved child of Japan in the region in terms of ODA as well as FDI. Second thing, what Japan did using education as a vehicle of people-to-people contract is that through this education as a tools of people-to-people contract, they enhance and strengthened economic diplomacy. And third pillar of Japanese people-to-people contact diplomacy using education is doing good to others and having long-term impact in diverse sector and collaboration. So these are the 3 principles they have outlined historically. And I think there are proven results because of these 3 pillars or 3 elements. With this theoretical background, let me now move on to BIMSTEC, and I was going through by the way, I have a presentation, but due to the extreme threat of the chair, I have left that. So when I was going through the declarations of last BIMSTEC, I found the element of education here and there in number of declaration in the form of saying, addressing education as the bridge to people-to-people cooperation. In 2004. Again, in 2004, it said agreement on introducing BIMSTEC travel or visa exchange program. In 2004, it was too much ambitious, saying that agreement on productive integration among members through academic exchange and programs. In 2005, in another meeting, it said signing up MOU between members for academic collaboration. In 2011, the same thing revealed. In 2014, setting up BIMSTEC, a network for policy think tank. If that could have been materialized, that would reduce Salim sir's effort in organizing this kind of event. Hopefully, it will happen in future. So if you go through the declarations of BIMSTEC, you will see there are commitments, ambitions, and aspirations. But when it comes to the original implementation, I think integration is one of the areas that can be looked at in the future efforts of BIMSTEC. Particularly, what reveals that lack of effectiveness of the education initiative within the BIMSTEC nations, disparities due to the literacy rate, expertise of the countries in different areas. Thirdly, absence of integrated educational network among BIMSTEC's members, absence of integrating existing scholarship. This is one of the areas I like to put serious stress, that all the BIMSTEC nations have the scholarship schemes, but it is not well articulated or organized. And I don't know whether effort has been made by the Secretariat to have a synergy of all the scholarship provided by the BIMSTEC member. That could be one commanding thing in the form of EU, what they are doing in the as Erasmus Mundus or African Union nations, they are providing a scholarship. This can be one of the ways of enhancing people-to-people contact using education as a vehicle. And also lack of focus on women education, although BIMSTEC has commitment to that in the form of gender disparity, they are ambitious to address. And also the lack of support for networking among the member nations, particularly among the universities as well as academia and the think tanks. So this can be one of the areas BIMSTEC can think of. Let me move on to the my last points. In the end, I would like to recommend that following the Japanese model, what I have highlighted, the three areas where I think BIMSTEC can be immensely benefited. First, to enhance people-to-people contact by promoting effective educational cooperation. When I'm saying effective educational cooperation, it should include introducing scholarships, what I said, like EU or African Union, and also a quota and the tuition waiver for all the 7 BIMSTEC member states, which is, I don't think it's a daunting task to be implemented in enhancing people-to-people contact. There can be a quota for these states and also some tuition waiver that can be thought of. And of course, faculty and student exchange, that can be another area. And I don't think much effort is required. And if you just follow the example of Japan Foundation or Japanese government, you don't really need much money to do that. And we understand that the budget of BIMSTEC is increasing. So this can be one of the areas to promote people-to-people contact. And finally, I would like to recommend that there has to be a budget or some kind of arrangement from BIMSTEC to promote this kind of events. They just can't leave it to SANEM or Churalukan University or Asia Foundation to be too kind to support. But there should be a mechanism from BIMSTEC to underpin this kind of effort and have the people-to-people contact, which we can see very much vigilant today. And finally, I would like to say that BIMSTEC started a student exchange program in the school level, probably supported by Thailand. I have seen in one of their initiatives. That can be one of the long-term, deep-rooted initiative by the BIMSTEC Secretariat or all the member states to create. We are talking about the 30 years of BIMSTEC, which is not maybe successful and have many questions. But this kind of effort of school exchange, student exchange, or summer school can have long-term impact and culminate to many successes. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Focusing on education and very concrete proposals. Can I call upon Madam Muwa Bin? Next.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon. This is Muwa Wen from Chiang Mai University. Even I come from Chiang Mai University. I actually from Myanmar, and I am studying Chiang Mai University with the support from Thailand government. So it is the example of what just Professor said. People to people contact in the form of educational support. So today I would like to present issue related to the youth unemployment in the BIMSTEC countries. Since we have a limited time, I will be very quick in the presentation. So when I got invitation to present at the this conference under the people to people contact, the youth unemployment issue came to my mind, not only because of our youth in the region facing challenges. It's also UN recent declaration on the future agenda too, and also last year BIMSTEC ministerial meeting also urged member countries to establish more forums on youth entrepreneurs, researchers, university and cultural organization to promote the people-to-people contact. And also this morning, in her remark, Ms. Celine Ponparibai also highlighted the importance of youth for the resilience and sustainable future. So allow me to present how we can improve people to people contact by tackling the issue of youth unemployment in the region. So in next slide is the outline of the presentation. And also at the end of the presentation, I also would like to propose the possible, solution for Thailand to, improve the youth employment in the region. So in the next slide, I would like to present the sources of the economic, disparity within the BIMSTEC region, and that's there are four main sources, and driven by the wealth gaps, trade imbalances, infrastructure deficit, and knowledge and digital divides, particularly between more developed countries like India and Thailand, and less developed country like my country like Myanmar. So I also understand that this morning we also discuss all about the trade imbalances and infrastructure and knowledge and digital divides, but sadly I missed I think I do not really hear about youth and gender issue that we are facing right now. But on the other hand, I'm glad that we have at least gender inclusion in this panel. I just want to address this issue, because if we miss out the youth and gender issue in our discussion and agenda and policies, we miss the most important aspect and most important ingredients to build a resilient and sustainable future for us. And in BIMSTEC region, why youth issue is important. In next slide, because in BIMSTEC region there are 1.8 billion population, which has approximately 27% of youth, and and that youth are facing with the critical issue like conflict, and also unemployment due to the skill mismatch and lack of decent employment opportunity, and demographic transitions. And it's all excavated by the low investment in critical social services. So I would like to address these challenges through by improving education, skills development, and increased investment in transformative changes in is essential for securing a prospect future for the region's growth. So in next slide, I quickly check the data from World Bank, the unemployment youth percentage in the BIMSTEC region, and it's increasing for several factors. But we all I think agree that the unemployment and also need population, which is not in education, employment and training, youth population is increasing. And with the current situation and social unrest and tension in the region, it is challenging for our society having youth, angry youth who has a digital knowledge, limited digital knowledge, and but powerful digital user to follow that easily without wearing the all the digital online scamming industry that threatening the whole world right now.
So, Numas, can I just interrupt and
Yes,
ask you
please.
to cut
Okay.
cut
Yeah.
through
Yes.
to the proposed solution. Thank you.
Yes, Professor, thank you. So it is very good to present at the end of the presentation because everyone expect us to be very quick. So let me go to the solution. At the end of the slide, I would like to propose people to people contact for Thailand and Myanmar because not only because of the economic opportunity, but also because of the conflict and education opportunity. A lot of people from Myanmar migrate to Thailand, and as you can see in the slides, 90% of Myanmar migrate to Thailand, and now it's reaching to 1.9 million. Through uh, uh, informal formal channels, and 2 millions came informally. So since I at the presentation I laid out quote the UNDP recent report, youth migrant who migrated to Thailand and the issue and challenges that they are facing right now. So when I study about the BIMSTEC, Thailand is the lead country in BIMSTEC for the connectivity. So when we think about the connectivity, we need to think beyond the transport and communication connectivity. We need to find a way to improve people-to-people connectivity. And I believe, investing in youth education and giving skill training and giving employment opportunity and ensuring well-being of the migrants is the way to improve the connectivity of the both country, and it's also can uh, 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 improve the stability of the region. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And sorry to have to interrupt. I'm sure you have a very nice case to make, but time is limited. So can I ask Professor Jirayut to come on next? Try to keep it in 5 minutes.
Okay.
To the best of your ability. Thank you.
Okay, people-to-people relations. I have been speaking, on this topic in many platforms for the past 5 years, and it has always been put into the last sessions, which show us some things, about how BIMSTECs, see people-to-people relations. If we are seeing, and that is the reasons why it's not working. If we see, BIMSTECs as a sort of, a framework, a formality of matrimony, people-to-people relations is love, is attractions, is the desires, to share, a desire to, live together, spend their life together. The question is, between people in the BIMSTECs, do we have enough attractions? Do we have enough love to decide, that we're going to live together, that we're going to share, that we're going to have this governance, that we're going to agree on a prenuptials agreement, that is the FTA, that we're going to raise our kids together, and put them through educations, finding them jobs. Do we have that level of love? That is my questions. So, for me, people-to-people relations is the most fundamental things, of any kind of relationships, of any kind of formalities, agreement. But this morning, I have heard that the subject of making BIMSTEC popular has come up again. So it's the same thing that BIMSTEC has become popular. do we have enough awareness of BIMSTECs, of the Bay of Bengal? But comparing to ASEAN, the Bay of Bengal is a historical and geographical entity. ASEAN is just something that was invented during the Cold War, because country in Southeast Asia, they didn't have, we didn't have any relationships, and actually we hated each other, especially me and my my neighbors from Myanmar. We always saw each other as enemies. But because of something like ASEAN just came up, and the ASEAN successfully in certain level to build a sense of identity, a sense of historical and geographical connections. It is something that I always urge BIMSTEC to build upon the heritage that we have had for hundreds or maybe thousands of years. I have been involved, in terms of, the archaeological studies and genetic studies, for the past 5 years. And, one of the interesting findings that from the genetic study, genome studies has found out is that people, in the central part of Thailand has 25% share or genetic share, with people in North India and from the people, from the Fertile Crescents, that is Persian and Iraq. While people, from the south of Thailand has 25 genetics sharing, with people from South India. That says something about the people, to people, relations that has been occurring for the past thousands of years. So my point is that we need to build upon this heritage that we have. We need to decolonize our mode of knowledge productions that told us that is telling us that we are separate nation states, that we are people of separate religions, that we are people of separate ethnicities, while we have been sharing all this culture, we have been sharing all this blood for thousands of years. So for BIMSTECs to be able to move forward, I beg you, pay more attention, to people connect, to people relations. Build upon the heritage, build upon the something that we have already got, and also trying to encourage intercultural learning between people of in the regions. So that is my point. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. Building upon the history, it's a shared history, basically. Okay. Now we have an online presence. So if everything works, that's fine. Maybe we have time for question. Okay. So can I ask whatever the cloud to bring on Professor Piyanat? Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, Professor. Hope you hear me clearly. Very good afternoon from Ubon Ratchathani. It's truly an honor for me to address in this session at the Third Bay of Bengal Economic Dialogue 2024. So let me start with this slide. So when we talk about international relations today, it's encompass far more than just the interaction between states. They are about the connection and relationship among people. So this idea is at the heart of our session on people-to-people relation and BIMSTEC. So I would like to express my gratitude to the organizer for still emphasizing the agenda of people-to-people relation within the context of BIMSTEC and evolving the new world order. So it's essential to recognize that the countries bordering the Bay of Bengal are shaping a new world order by bridging South Asia and Southeast Asia. So this collaboration among BIMSTEC nations connect a population of 1.7 billion people, so approximately 1/5 of the global population. So this immense demographic connects nations and also fostering understanding and collaboration. However, the core challenge extends beyond merely institutionalizing and legalizing BIMSTEC. So it lies in how we connect and engage this vast population to understand and appreciate one another better. Enhancing people-to-people relation is very crucial. We must focus on building connections that embrace and emphasize our connectivity. So after extensive work on BIMSTEC issue with the Indian Studies Center at Chulalongkorn University and with my colleague at Ubon Ratchathani University, and also being a part of BIMSTEC Network of Policy Think Tanks, or BNPTT, I have found that it's very significant. It's very important to introduce BIMSTEC more comprehensively to the broader society and to the wider community. Therefore, as I being academia, we and my team actively work to publicize and introducing about BIMSTEC to the public. So our initiative, as you see in the slide, we have centered on building knowledge and understanding about BIMSTEC. We organize and actively engage in various activities such as BIMSTEC on tour, going to the high school, introducing them about BIMSTEC, organizing BIMSTEC quiz competition, conducting seminar and exhibition, and organizing BIMSTEC conference. So these initiatives have significantly contributed to raising awareness among students, university communities, and also the general public. Building on this effort, we also focus on developing educational material to further broaden awareness. This includes creating an e-learning platform for BIMSTEC, and we publishing 2 books on BIMSTEC. So this initiative by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs helps the young generation to learn more about BIMSTEC through the e-learning and also e-book that we have been written. Moreover, we have fostered academic collaboration to deepen our understanding of BIMSTEC. So we are having initiative like the establishment of the South Asian Study Group at Ubon Ratchathani University. We organizing the South Asian Forum at Ubon Ratchathani University, and also recently we appointed non-resident fellow program for BIMSTEC and South Asian countries. Currently, we have the fellow from Sri Lanka, Nepal, and India joining us at the non-resident fellow. Just last year, as people-to-people connectivity is not just only for the state level, we organized the BIMSTEC capacity building program in September 2023 that funded by Ministry of Higher Education, Science, Research, and Innovation, and also BIMSTEC Secretariat. So the idea of this program trying to bring people from 7 countries of BIMSTEC coming together, joining together and learn about the common ground that we share and future, for example, on BCG economy, on creative economy, and also on smart agriculture. So the program, as I mentioned, has been organized in province of Ubon Ratchathani, where I found that to focus on human interaction and collaboration is not just only in Bangkok. But what I'm going to highlight that international relation between people in BIMSTEC can be in any place, not only from the capital city. So the point that I'm going to highlight is that we need to emphasize the importance of BIMSTEC beyond state-to-state interaction. We would like to emphasize more on connectivity between people. And inclusivity should extend beyond the central location like Bangkok to incorporate the other province, the other region. So it's vital to foster regional engagement and collaboration. And my last point, so we should invite more people, invite more stakeholders and partner working together so that we can have the same language or the same aspect toward BIMSTEC. And I think the sustainability or sustainable development also the common language that as the people to people interaction or people to people relation we should be focused. So thank you for your attention and looking forward to your
Thank you very
recommendation.
much, Ajahn Piyanat. I do hope the Secretariat or whoever organizes this meeting will take into account that Ubon Ratchathani University is a possible venue for your next activity. Thank you very much. Now, we have the concluding thoughts from Ambassador Sumit Nakandala from Sri Lanka.
Thank you, Chair. I think we are running out of time. I mean, how much more minutes we? 5-7 minutes. You need 2 minutes. Well, we heard very inspiring remarks from my co-panelists. That I think it's very important that, as the last speaker said about the genetic studies, I think there is nothing strange on that, because we share very common genetic pool, especially between India and Sri Lanka and the rest of South and Southeast Asia. Now, in my remarks, I am going to use 3 authors. First one is, of course, my good friend Surat Horichakul today mentioned about Sunil S. Amrit. In fact, Sunil S. Amrit delivered the second BIMSTEC Foundation lecture within this university. I think the same building. The first BIMSTEC Foundation lecture was delivered by Professor Kenneth Hall. That was in 2016 in BIMSTEC Secretariat in Dhaka. We all agree that promoting people-to-people contacts are extremely important and fundamental in promoting regional cooperation and integration. It is something which is necessary, what we call sine qua non. Now, how do we do that? Are we reinventing the wheel? I don't think so. Now, according to Sunil Amrit's very famous book, Crossing Bay of Bengal, I quote, "The Bay of Bengal was once a region at the heart of global history. It was forgotten in the second half of the 20th century, carved up by the boundaries of nation states and its shared past divided into separate compartments of national histories." Now this is what he said. In fact, he has done a number of studies, and then I recommend those who would like to promote Bay of Bengal integration process. This book is a must, published by Harvard University Press in 2013. Now, in his remarks, the last part, he was also talking about the BIMSTEC, where he says, the more recent institutions that have emerged, such as the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multisectoral Economic Cooperation, are technocratic, narrowly focused, and very limited in their reach. The Bay of Bengal inspired many imaginations and many visions of solidarity across distance, but it never developed into an idea with the force of territorial nationalism. However, much people's lives were shaped by circulation around the bay. Few would have identified with the sea and its course as their home. And he is asking a very pertinent question in that book, the conclusion. The moral and political questions that face the Bay of Bengal today would have been familiar at the turn of the 20th century. To whom the bay belong? That's the question. I'm also asking that question. To whom? Who owns the bay? To the rising powers with their favored quest for energy and resources and influence? To the forces of capital that seeks to extract value from the land, now from the very bed of the sea? And he is asking the other one, oh, to the diversity of people that inhabit its coast. During our discussions, I think for the last so many years, we have never focused on fishers around the Bay of Bengal. Now that has not been done. I think we need to do that. The second work that I'm going to quote is from Professor Rila Mukherjee, well-known historian who has done a lot of work on Bay of Bengal and Indian Ocean. The Bay of Bengal presents a paradox entering the recorded history of whole of the Indian Ocean from the 15th and 16th centuries when it participated in Chinese, Portuguese, and Ottoman network. I didn't bring today the there is a chart which Professor Kenneth Hall has produced, and he has identified in his work the existence of 5 trading networks, regional trade networks, overlapping across the Bay of Bengal between 1300 to 1500 AD. Maybe tomorrow, if I have time, I will show it to you. I think that's very important to understand. Now, having said that, how do we promote the people-to-people contact? I think we need to, what we need basically, this is nothing difficult, no serious academic work. Just revisit our common cultural heritage within the Bay of Bengal. That's all. There's nothing difficult. But what prevents that? That is why I quoted Sunil Amrit, carving out of the separate nation states and boundaries. Now we are trying to negotiate with boundaries, FTA. Then we are trying to negotiate trade facilitation agreement. Now we are basically trying to negotiate these boundaries. That is where we are at the moment. I agree with most of the suggestions given by my co-panelists. But my plea is that we will not be able to achieve anything from the regional integration or trade facilitation unless we develop passion towards the regional cooperation and integration. Unless we understand what the Bay of Bengal means to us mean in Sri Lanka, India, the people of India, the people of Bhutan, people of Myanmar, people of Thailand. Because at one point of time, there was a seamless connectivity across the Bay of Bengal. The ideas from the Indian subcontinent flowed into the Southeast Asia. The religions were exchange. That is how the genetic pool was enriched. So I leave it there. It is up to us to promote people-to-people contact. But I urge you not to reinvent the wheel. Just rediscover our common cultural heritage. If we do, we will certainly succeed. And I always believe BIMSTEC is a successful story. It may take time. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. That leads us back to the main idea that the Bay of Bengal is something we should care about. Thank you very much, panelists, all panelists. And do we have time for questions, organizer?
I see the hand. So we have time for one question.
One. Good.
Speaking about people-to-people contact, the most important factor is the information network. I beg the BIMSTEC Secretariat to create a website of BIMSTEC so that to provide information network from private sector, from civil society, academia include. When we search on BIMSTEC website, we will find the website of all the BIMSTEC member country media, newspaper, whatsoever, and also university, and most of all, BIMSTEC website to provide information about business, the opportunity, trade, investment, tourism, whatsoever that can be put in the website. Just follow the ASEAN Secretariat model. We have ASEAN Secretariat providing website so that we have all the law, regulation, and also business investment opportunity of all member country. And as a lawyer, I find that most important element for promoting trade, investment, and economic cooperation is law firm. Because if you are to invest in Thailand, India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, the business sector must use the law firm. So if we can have the website that provide the information network of the law firm in BIMSTEC country, that the business people of all members can use. So this is what I like to suggest, that the BIMSTEC Secretariat should create a website. And of course, people-to-people contact. We know each other through information. So people of BIMSTEC country should know about the history and all dimension, economic, social, and so on. So with this website that will promote the web link to all those sector concerned, business, and also civil society, will help information flow to all the people of BIMSTEC. You know, BIMSTEC doesn't have a BIMSTEC Business Council like others regional organization. Like ASEAN, we have ASEAN Business Council, GMS Business Council, but BIMSTEC doesn't have one. So I think very important foundation for making a forward BIMSTEC cooperation is through this information network. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's all we have time for.
Just 1 minute.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's
Secretariat
important.
to
Yeah,
respond.
being from the Secretariat, it's important for me to clarify Your Excellency and other participants for kind information. Like, we have very dynamic now website, and we are also very active on Facebook and other social media such as Twitter, Instagram. We also have from January 2024, like our quarterly newspaper has been now revamped, and then we are now issuing monthly. And then we also have this business council as economic forum, but as like these two forums have not been able to meet as expected. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody, once again. And I
Thank you very
return the
much.
floor to the organizer. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the chair and the panelists. And like before this session, we also talking about something that's very hot. It's like governance and, and corruption. But to the end of the day, we're closing with something about love. And you guys leave the question to the participants, how we can make it, how can we live in like the harmonies, those kind of things. I think that is good enough for today. And thank you very much for participants, panelists, and the chairs to being with us. And thank you very much for today. Thank you very much.